What's up, insiders? Deuces Jack at VapingInsider.com. Today I got a single 18650 kit for you, running that AS chipset. I'm talking about the Geekvape Lucid. How does it compare to the eLeaf Pico? Make sure you watch the whole review to find out. As far as the mod goes, let's give a quick tour around it. There's your fire button right there. Nice clicky fire button. Plus, minus button. That's your screen. I like this little cutout here. I don't mind the Lucid branding right there. It's not terrible. This is your battery cap right here. Threading on it is nice and smooth, especially considering the price point. 510 is gold plated and spring loaded. I would say it has a short throw with a stiff spring to it. The mod has that eLeaf Pico type of look, right? That's what it's got. It's got a little bit of a cutout here, so it makes it a little bit more comfortable to hold. But very, very much in the same style of the Pico, especially with that battery cap right there. There is your micro USB port right there. On the bottom of the mod, you can see we have some branding as well as some venting. 5 clicks, and the mod turns on. Screen is a little bit on the dim side, but it's not too bad. On the screen, you have your battery meter right there, your resistance right there. There is your puff counter, your wattage, your mode, and your preheat. In order to access the menu system, 1, 2, 3. That's how you scroll through your different features. That's curve mode. 3 clicks again. That's stainless steel mode. Nickel. Titanium. TCR, bypass, and there is your settings mode. Now, in order to access your settings mode, you have to press the plus and minus button together. That slot is where you can adjust your TC wattage. That is where you can put smart mode on or off. That is where you can adjust your screen time when your screen time's out. That's where you can adjust your brightness. Hands mode is the way you flip the screen. I don't know. Why don't they just say flip screen? Why do they call it hands mode? It's so stupid. And puff counter is where you can turn the puff counter on, off, or reset it. The number 7 slot is where you can put the mod back to default settings. And number 8 is exit. 3 more clicks brings you back to regular wattage mode. If you want to lock the mod, you hit the plus and fire button together. That will lock and unlock the mod. If you want to adjust the preheat, you hit the plus and minus button together, and now you can scroll between soft, normal, and high. I normally keep it on normal. Hold the fire button to exit, and you can see the end right there. Okay? And that's about it, man. That's really the whole menu system. Pretty simple. The screen's not as bright as I would want it to be. But otherwise, it's not bad. It's a pretty simple menu system. I wish they would have included a manual. Like I said, mine was sealed, but I didn't get a manual. So I'm not sure if they're not including a manual with this, but mine didn't get it. So that's definitely going to be a con. It's possible that I didn't get one by accident, but since they only sent one, I have nothing else to compare it to. In order to load the batteries in, you simply unscrew the battery cap right there. Like I said, threading is very smooth. There is a negative sign there, but I do wish they did it in a different color. There is no battery indicator marking on the bottom right there. That's a no-no also. I wish they would have done something with that. Here is the tank. This is the Lumi tank. It is a fully disposable tank. This is all one piece, the drip tip, the barrel section. Here is your top fill port right here. You just lift that rubber grommet and you fill it up. That's the spare one that I just showed you down low. Here is your adjustable airflow. There's no stoppers. It just keeps spinning freely. You got 3 holes right there. You can see I did use this. I have some juice in there because I did have to test it out. On the bottom of the atomizer, you can see we have a gold-plated 510 insulator ring around it. And it looks like there's, I don't know, some type of airflow there or something like that. Looks like that might be what it is. I tried pulling this out. You can't pull this out. This coil is not replaceable. Once this tank goes, you just chuck it. The coil that comes installed in this disposable tank is a 0.3 ohm mesh Canthol coil. All right, like I said, this is a disposable tank. On the bottom of the box, you get this white micro USB cable for charging and updates. You also get this spare top fill stopper, I guess. You know, top fill cap, rubber gasket. That's it though. You don't get anything else. I didn't get a manual. I didn't get a QC card. I didn't get anything else. And like I said, my box was sealed, but I don't know if it was missing a sleeve. One more quick tour around the mod, all put together. Let's get right into the cons and the pros. First con's gonna be, man, they gave you only one tank with it, which means you basically only got one coil. That's a big no-no. You're going to sell a kit like this, you got to put 2 tanks in it because it's the equivalent of 2 coils. The tank on this one definitely feels cheap. I mean, what do you expect? It's a disposable, but I got to point that out. I know it's a budget tank, but it's still got no stopper on the AFC. I don't like that. That's a con. No manual. I don't know if it was an oversight in mine, but I got no manual in my kit and it was sealed. Let's move on to the pros because there's a few of them. First pro is going to be the tank actually performs well. I got to give them props for that. The tank has decent flavor and clouds, and so far the longevity has been pretty good. I think I'm on my 8th or 9th tank full right now, and it's still pumping out the flavor and the clouds. The device itself has a great chipset. It's got that Geekvape AS chipset, which is fantastic. It seems accurate in power mode. It's comfortable. It's compact. It's an easy carry. That's a pro. I think it's a great starter kit for a newbie. It's got a simple menu system and it's firmware upgradable. So at the end of the day, how does this one compare to the eLeaf Pico? It's only fair to compare it to that because it's a very, very similar form factor. And I gotta say, while the build quality does feel a little cheaper because it's plasticky and rubbery, the chipset is definitely much better. If I had a choice between this and the Pico, I would pick this one just because of the chipset alone. I think it's a great starter kit for a newbie, and I do like the concept of the disposable tank. I like the idea of picking up a disposable tank and keeping one in my bag pocket or my desk drawer just in case of an emergency. I think that's a great idea. If you're a newbie looking to try out a bigger setup, move up from maybe like a pen setup, or maybe you want to go from mount to lung to a direct lung setup, this wouldn't be a bad place to start. Make sure you check out the thumbnails on the screen. And that's it, folks. That's all we got today. You keep living that vape life. We're out of here. Deuces.